Welcome to the Dan Casper Show podcast, your chance to catch the full show anytime, anywhere. If you missed it live on the radio, no worries. We've got you covered with all the sports talk, opinions, interviews, and conversations from the show. From the Packers to the Brewers to the biggest stories in sports and around Wisconsin, it's all right here. This is the Dan Casper Show podcast. What's up, everybody? Good morning and happy Friday. TGIF, baby. Appreciate you making us a part of your start if you are already up and at it here this morning, whether you are listening and tuning in on the radio dials of 105.1 FM, 790 AM, online, WAYYradio.com, sportstalk1051.com. Got your smart devices, smart speakers, your Alexa devices and such. But you got the video stream also on YouTube, Man Cave TV. You can tune in to that. Multiple different ways for you to be joining in. And then you got the Shoe Doctors bullpen line where you can join in the conversation. 715-830-1912. And, of course, the Section 105 chats. What do we have on our game plan for us this morning? We got Brewers Dodgers to preview, 3-game series that begins tonight. We got Logan Henderson's going to get the start for the Brew Crew. On the other side, you got another young pitcher, Justin Robleski, going for the Dodgers, who is 6-1 so far this season with a 2.49 ERA. He's coming off of a win against the Angels back on the 16th, where he went 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, and just 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, too. We'll break that down in a little bit more detail coming up here in just a little bit. But Brewers Dodgers coming in with the Brewers looking for their 30th win on the season. They're currently standing at 29-18, where the Dodgers are 31-8 or 31-19. 29-18 for the Brewers, 31-19 for the Dodgers. So lots of baseball talk here this morning as we get set for this series and this Brewers team that has been playing incredibly well as of late. Can they continue that run? Can they continue to play at an incredibly high level? We shall see, right? So we got that coming up here. We're going to talk with Brandon Berg, as usual, on every Friday morning around a little past 7 o'clock. We'll do some Carpet City Flooring Center local sports roundup. We've got we got some baseball brackets out for the high school teams, mostly Division 2, 3, 4. Just a couple teams that got some high seeds here. We're still waiting on Division 1, but in Division 2, Altoona is a 2 seed. Division 3, Fall Creek is a 1 seed. Boyceville Elk Mound are 2 seeds. Eau Claire Manual Lutheran is a 1 seed in Division 4. So we'll go through all that, plus some softball, track and field, and all that good stuff with Brandon Berg coming up a little bit later on for our local sports roundup, brought to you by Carpet City Flooring Center. We got some AJM Automotive Pump the Brakes and Full Throttle, so we'll hit that up too. That'll be in the 8 o'clock hour. We got a little cream of the crop. We'll hit that up right before we do some Pump the Brakes or Full Throttle. We got some Inside the Trading Room. We're going to talk with Dr. Crow coming up next hour, a little under an hour from now. Brought to you by Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. I definitely want to ask him, as from his side, from his profession, from his expertise, what when he sees Jacob Mizorowski and the amount of force, miles per hour that is behind his fastball from an orthopedic surgeon standpoint, his concern level. I mean, it's kind of hard probably from the outside just to kind of look in. There's so many other variables that exist with that, but I'm just kind of curious to get his thoughts and opinions on that too. So we'll get to that again, little under an hour from now. Playoff-wise, if you've been following the NBA playoffs and the Stanley Cup playoffs, the Knicks taking a 2-0 lead after their 109-93 win last night. Montreal takes game 1 against Carolina, a 6-2 victory for Montreal last night. So, yeah, we'll maybe throw a little football chat into this, into the game plan here for this morning. We'll see where everything's at. But Bears fans, I'd be kind of curious to hear from you about this whole stadium thing, because the Bears yesterday reiterated that they plan to leave Chicago as they continue to look at building a stadium in suburban Illinois or in Hammond, Indiana. The Bears said in a statement that they have exhausted every opportunity to stay in Chicago, which was our initial goal. There is not a viable site in the city. As a result, the only sites under consideration are in Arlington Heights and in Hammond. So, does it really matter? I honestly, I would really be curious. I know we've got one for sure. I know there's a couple of Bears fans that listen, but I would honestly be curious to hear their thoughts about Bears moving out of Chicago. Does it matter that much to them? Maybe not. I think, Packers fans, let's say like Green Bay, even if they moved within state, say they moved to like Milwaukee or something like that. I don't know if I'd like that. There's too much history. There's too much lore. There's too much. There's just, no. Don't do that. Even if they moved closer. I don't know if I'd like that. No. Even if it was still in the state. But yeah, we'll throw some football chat in here too. I know Green Bay's been doing some OTA stuff, and maybe you've been following along a little bit on social media and seeing some of the picks. Otherwise, it's been pretty quiet surrounding some of that stuff. It's been pretty behind closed doors in that. But and then whatever else, it is an open house party. It's TGIF. Whatever random trail we kind of go down, right? So, all right, let's get things going here this morning. Plus, I do want to, and I want to talk a little bit more about this with Brandon, because Brandon follows it a little bit more. But just an awfully sad story yesterday with Kyle Busch, NASCAR driver, passing away at the incredibly young age of 41. Just kind of a weird story so far out there. Don't know all the details in that, but from what I had seen, they're saying from a severe illness, but there was apparently reports he was complaining of like a sinus infection, a head cold, and that, and now he's gone at the age of 41. Just a really, really sad story. And I, from the little bit that I know of NASCAR and such, I know earlier on in his career, he's kind of, I don't know if bad boy is the right way to kind of phrase it. Maybe got in some tussles and that, but it sounded like kind of calmed down, cooled off a little bit. But a 2-time champion, cup champion and such. So just a young family too. So he hates hearing stuff like that. But just wanted to make sure we acknowledged and threw that out there too. But just an awful, awful, awful story. So. All right, let's take our first break, and then we'll get things going here on the leadoff. Let's talk a little Brewers and Dodgers to open it up here this morning, shall we? Brewers, Dodgers. We'll preview this series. We may even have to throw a little Brewers Cardinals into our preview, because we won't be here on Monday for Memorial Day weekend, so we may have to throw that one in there too. So let's pitter-patter. Let's get at her, shall we? We'll take our first break, and then we'll jump right into the leadoff, talking some baseball, talking Brewers, Dodgers. Coming up after these quick words. If you're going to be hosting any maybe Memorial Day weekend get-togethers, grill-outs, barbecues, whatever the case may be, make sure you go and take advantage of the Memorial Day weekend sales at our friends at Hy-Vee in Eau Claire. And check this out, too. They got a summer rib sale going on right now. Full slab of ribs are $12.99 each for the rest of the week. And if you have not tried those ribs from Hy-Vee in Eau Claire, they do a fantastic job with that. You got the smoker outside when you enter the store. Oh, chef's kiss, baby. But don't forget to follow the Hy-Vee Facebook page. They've got all the flyers and sales and deals up there, so you can peruse it online before you stop in store and and do a little shopping. And don't forget, too, take advantage of the fuel parks. Save some money at the gas pump, too, by shopping at Hy-Vee in Eau Claire. Joe, you may need to go shop at Hy-Vee to load up the food pantry and such. That's cool. That's Joe, who's on our Section 105 chat room, saying it's officially baseball season. We pick up one of our Express players today. So that's cool. That Joe, it sounds like you're a host family. So very cool. Very awesome. I would imagine you're probably going to be at a lot of Express games this year, too. So Barb saying good morning, world. Have a great day and weekend. Thank you to all who have served and are serving. Very well said, Barb. A very big tip of the cap, again, to everybody who has served and continue to serve, and those who are no longer with us that served as well. So let's get things going here this morning with the leadoff, shall we? Let's talk a little baseball, Brewers baseball. The excitement continues, baby, with the Brewers taking on the Dodgers starting tonight. What a great series we have on hand for Memorial Day weekend in Milwaukee. Dodgers, Brewers, two of the best teams in the National League and across the whole entire league, Major League Baseball. Brewers coming in looking for their 30th win. They're 29-18. The Dodgers are coming in 31-18. This is, I mean, the way the Brewers are playing right now, how can you not be excited for this series? It's going to be a tough one. No doubt about it. It's going to be tough, but an epic series on hand here. And if you're a Brewers fan, sure, be a little nervous, maybe be a little skeptical and such. But remember, Brewers just swept the Yankees. They just swept the Cubs. They've been going up against some really good opponents here as of late. And the Brewers, I'm sorry, but are 17-6 against teams who are over 500. Dodgers, they're just 10-8. Just 2 games above 500 against teams who are 500 or better. So, in terms of a pitching matchup here, we've got Logan Henderson. He's going to get the start for the Crew tonight. And he's coming off of his latest performance, picking up a win against the Twinnies back on the 16th. He went 5 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts. Logan Henderson, so far, what he has done in his 4 games for the Brewers. If you go and then you count that April 4 start where he just pitched 2 innings, let's kind of just let's just look at May. Okay, let's just look at May where he's been more of a traditional starter since being called up. So 3 games in the month of May. He is 1-1 with a 2.81 ERA, 16 innings pitched, 5 earned runs, just 2 walks, and 20 strikeouts. In those 3 starts, 20 strikeouts, 2 walks. That is it. That's not a bad ratio whatsoever. Can he continue to, this is with Logan Henderson, with a rookie, youngster, right? Young pitcher. Can he continue to get better, more comfortable, stack success? That's what we want to see with some of these younger pitchers. Logan Henderson, sky's the limit for him. There's a lot of optimism. There's a lot of potential with him. Before the season began, there was a lot of talk about could he be a potential Rookie of the Year candidate. It was on a rookie of the year watch list for a lot of people. And if you look at the odds, he's on there, but I mean, he's like maybe close to 10th or something. And it just needs more starts, needs more opportunities maybe to move up on that list. And well, here you go. Here's a heck of an opportunity to make a really good impression going up against the Dodgers. He did go up against the Yankees. It was that Mother's Day game. No decision in that game, but he went 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, including that home run to Aaron Judge. But he has gone up against some pretty powerful lineups too. So another big opportunity here for Logan Henderson to showcase what he's got, what he has. On the flip side here, you've got Justin Robleski going for the Dodgers. And he has been off to a really good start this season. April, he was lights out. But he is 6-1 with a 2.49 ERA so far this year. In 8 games that he's appeared, he has started 7 of those games. He's not maybe a little bit more as of late here, but you look at, he's got a total of 27 strikeouts in 50 innings pitched here. But April, he was 4-0. 4-0 and 4 games started, a .69 ERA. Yeah, that's good. That is really good, really impressive. 3 games in the month of May, 2-1, 3.92 ERA. But he is coming off of a win back on the 16th where he went up against the Angels, 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs. The game prior to that, back on the 10th against the Braves, he went 8 2/3. 8 2/3. 7 earned runs, couple home runs, 7 strikeouts. But overall, a very successful season so far. And he's a lefty, so you can kind of imagine what the lineup is going to potentially look like here for the Crew tonight. Probably trying to get a little right-handed heavy with this lineup. Not a ton of experience, no experience for this Dodgers lineup going up against Henderson. Only a couple of ABs for some Brewers players going up against Justin here. We're talking like 1 or 2, so not really anything. Terang's 1 for 2. Yelich actually has a home run against him in his 2 career at-bats. He's 1 for 2. Cheerios 0 for 2. Mitchell's 0 for 2. So I'm wondering maybe a little... you would wonder maybe a little Gary Sanchez at DH. No, Yelly would probably still be. I don't know if they put Yelly in the left field to put Gary Sanchez at DH. Who knows? Well, we'll see what Pat Murphy has up his sleeve for this lineup today. But looking ahead to the rest of some of these matchups, if we look at tomorrow's matchup between Brewers and Dodgers. This one is Robert Gasser is going to get the starts. He is slated, the probable starter, to get the start. Sasaki is going to get the start for the Dodgers. And so far this season, in 8 games, he is 2-3 with a 5.09 ERA. He is coming off of a win against the Angels in his latest start, and he was pretty darn good, going 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, and 8 strikeouts. But Robert Gasser, if you remember a couple years ago, began his career, probably exceeded all expectations. I mean, he began 2024, 5 games, was 2-0, had a 2.57 ERA, had big wins like against the Cubs, and then he had the Tommy John surgery. So last year, he appeared in 2 games started, 0-2, just 5 2/3 of an innings. Not a lot of production there, 3.18 ERA. And so it's still kind of building back, it feels like. Still trying to get back to that 2020 form that we saw with Robert Gasser. So far this year, just that 1 game started recently here. He went 4 innings, 4 innings, giving up 2 earned runs, so it's 4.50 ERA. But I think the optimism, at least I would hope so, that the optimism is still there for Robert Gasser to maybe get back to that 2024 version of him, right? Trying to get to what we saw there, because when we saw him come on the scene in 2024, it was like, dang, that's super impressive. And I think he is still, no question, a part of the long-term future of this starting rotation for the Brewers. And here we go. He's got an opportunity, kind of like a Logan Henderson, has an opportunity here to showcase that. But his last game, again, back on the 17th against the Twins, where he went 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, did strike out 3, did issue a couple of walks. I think he's just still kind of building up, trying to get back to that 2024 form. And then on Sunday, you've got Brandon Sproat on the mound, and Yamamoto is going to go for the Dodgers. Yamamoto is coming off of back-to-back losses, although his previous loss against the Padres, still a quality start because he went 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, and 8 strikeouts. So far this year, he is 3-4 with a 3.32 ERA. Brandon Sproat. Now, he's coming off of a solid performance against the Cubbies. It was that 5th inning that kind of maybe, no, not kind of, it did come off the rails a little bit. No decision, but it was 4 2/3, 3 hits, 3 earned runs. Had the issue with the walks, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. It just seems like right now, Brandon Sproat, he's going to go about 4 innings. And then, depending on how the game's going, maybe a Chad Patrick, maybe a D.L. Hall type of player coming in for relief after him, hoping to go the distance after that. But it feels like Brandon Sproat maybe is that tag team, tandem, piggyback starter type of role. Who's going to be the pitcher that comes in after him? It might be another pitcher that just finishes off the inning, and then you go the distance with somebody else after that. I get it. You know, you look at some of the Brewers pitchers here. It's Logan, it's Brandon, it's Robert Gasser. No, it's not Mizorowski. No, it's not Kyle Harrison. Sure, you'd like to see those guys going up against this Dodgers lineup. But that Cubs series was a little bit more important. If we had to grade these series or which one was a little bit more important, it's the Cubs one. It's division, right? But still, these are still young, solid pitchers. These guys, Logan Henderson, Sproat and such, they're part of the reason why the Brewers are in the spot that they're in right now. And this is a great opportunity for these guys to go up against this lineup, this powerful lineup of the Dodgers, and to showcase what they got. To get that experience that'll hopefully help them when it comes to postseason time. That's the way I'm looking at it. Let's get this series win, but let's get some great experience going up against some powerful lineups for these younger pitchers, because it's going to happen in the postseason. I'd rather have them get that experience now than instead of the postseason. Let's get her done. Let's get her done. What's your prediction for this series? Send it on over to me. All right, text it. Join in on the Section 105 chat. How many wins for the Brewers in the series? Or do you think the Dodgers sweep? Or what's your prediction on this thing? All right, let's take a quick break. Get you a chance to send in your thoughts. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes. Summer is, well, it's the official kickoff of summer, right? With Memorial Day weekend, and that means it is time to get outside, make some memories, be ready for whatever the season brings. That's where Tilden Gun comes on in. Whether you, whether you are gearing up for target practice, heading to the range, or preparing for your next outdoor adventure, Tilden Gun has the selection and expertise to get you set up right. Man, I'm choking up here. Hold on a second. Oh, man, nothing worse than that. Holy moly. From firearms and ammunition to accessories and safety gear, they've got everything that you need, all backed by knowledgeable service that you could trust. At Tilden Gun, it's not just about what you buy. It's about making sure that you feel confident, informed, and ready every single time that you head on out. So this summer, don't just enjoy the outdoors, be prepared for it. Stop by Tilden Gun today and see why they are a trusted name for shooters and outdoor enthusiasts alike. Oh, choking up a little bit here on this Friday morning. MLB.com has ranked the which heated division race will be the best. Where do Brewers and Cubs come in on this list? Not number 1, but they do come in at number 2. So, number 1, by the way, was the Tampa Bay Rays and Yankees. But it says a week ago, the Cubs looked like the best team in baseball and the class of a division that didn't have a single team with a losing record. But one home sweep at the hands of the Brewers now has the Cubs in the midst of a 5-game losing streak, knocking them out of first place and into the NL Central scrum that has all 5 teams within 5 games of each other. Still, even with the Cardinals surprising, the Pirates clearly improving, and the Reds very much hanging tough, the Cubs and Brewers look like the class of the division yet again. The issue with the Cubs has been their rotation, which has been absolutely ravaged by injuries and was hit with another one on Wednesday when Edward Cabrera had to leave his start early with a blister on his middle finger of the pitching hand. Cubs have the 19th best starter ERA in the majors, and some of that is boosted by pitchers no longer available. Meanwhile, the Brewers have the third best rotation in the majors, led, of course, by Jacob Mizorowski, who might just be the most dominant starting pitcher in baseball right now. The Cubs are going to have to scramble to improve their starting pitching. The Brewers are not only set, but they got plenty of depth in a bullpen that's sixth best in baseball. Add that to a lineup that has Jackson Chourio back and Bryce Terang playing like a superstar, and it looks like the Brewers are just now beginning to hit their stride, even if they're not typically doing it with power. You don't want to be a prisoner of the moment here, but that 3-game sweep at Wrigley didn't look like an outlier. It looked like the future of this division again. Wow. That's a pretty high compliment for end of May. That last line there. You don't want to be a prisoner of the moments, but that 3-game sweep at Wrigley didn't look like an outlier. It looked like the future of this division again. Whew. Brewers fans probably saying, darn right. Darn tootin'. That's, yeah. This thing obviously is not over, man. It's not over. It's only May. It's going to be a race throughout the rest of the season. There's no question about that. There's probably going to be more than a few times that the Cubs are going to be back in first place. Heck, maybe even the Cardinals are in first place at some point. There's going to be this flip-flopping back and forth. And we're going to go through the waves of emotions here too. We're going to go through the highs. We're going to be pumped up if you're a Brewers fan like you are right now. Like this is awesome. We're on top of the world. And there's probably going to be a few times this year like, what the heck's going on? They need to do this. They need to do this. They need to trade for this person. They need to, get rid of this person. Call up Jed Williams and Cooper Pratt. We're probably going to get to a point where Joey Ortiz, we're complaining about him again. That's baseball in a nutshell. That's the baseball season. You go through the ebbs and flows and the highs and lows of everything. But that's why right now you're on a high as a Brewers fan. You should be excited. You should be excited, and you should be pumped up about what your team has done so far. Taking a sweep against the Yankees, taking a sweep against the Cubbies, taking 2 out of 3 against the Padres and literally inches away from sweeping that thing. Taking 2 out of 3 against the Twins, even though those games were close. You should be pumped up and excited about your team right now. And since we're out on Monday, just to kind of preview it a little bit here as well, Brewers, after the Dodgers, well, they're going to be welcoming those pesky Cardinals to AmFam Field starting on Monday. So no break after this Dodgers series. You got a big divisional series coming up with the Cardinals. One of the biggest surprises, I would say, in Major League Baseball this year is the St. Louis Cardinals. Brewers, it's officially a little TBD, but we know Mizorowski's going to be pitching in this series. We know Kyle Harrison's going to be pitching in this series. So we kind of have a good sense of who's going to be going in this series against the Cardinals. It's a big stretch when you kind of, in terms of looking at the schedule here. We talked about this stretch for May. after this Dodgers and Cardinals series, when you kind of look at June, there's another stretch of games here where you've got the Phillies, then you've got the Guardians, then you've got the Braves, and then you got the Reds and the Cubs. You want to talk about another crucial stretch coming up here in the middle of June. I know we got that's a ways here, but this schedule doesn't really lighten up here for the Crew, and a lot of that is because this NL Central teams are playing really well. There is no such thing as a gimme game, but the way that this division, this NL Central, is playing out so far this year, it's keeping everybody on their toes. Can't no longer can you say, well, the Pirates series, that's going to be, a series win, or Reds or Cardinals were down last year. You kind of thought, okay, maybe a little bit, couple year break from them. Nope. They're playing high quality baseball too. And I'm not ready to close the door on the Cubbies. It's fun to trash talk, and because it's a division rival in that. Don't close the door on them, though. They're still going to be a team that's going to threaten for the division and threaten the Brewers when it's all said and done. All right, we got to take our final break. We'll talk more baseball coming up next hour with Brandon when he's here with us. But we'll wrap up the first hour after these few words. Sunshine, road trips, and summer adventures are calling. Is your vehicle ready? At AGM Automotive in Eau Claire, they'll make sure that you hit the road with confidence, from AC checks and oil changes to brakes and full inspections. AGM Automotive has you covered before the heat kicks in. With 2 convenient Eau Claire locations, expert service is always just around the corner. Don't let car trouble slow you down or your summer plans. Schedule your appointment today by visiting ajmautomotiveservices.com. AJM Automotive, keeping you cool, safe, and road trip ready all summer long. Coming up just past the top of the hour, we'll catch up with Dr. Crow for a little inside the training room. After that, Brandon will be joining us, and we'll get back to some more baseball talk and such, but also do some local sports roundup. Brought to you by Carpet City Flooring Center. We'll play a little Pump the Brakes Full Throttle, brought to you by AJM Automotive. So we'll get to that. And then Cream of the Crop. If you would like to make your selections for Cream of the Crop, you can let us know by hitting us up on the Shoe Doctors Bullpen line, 715-830-1912, or join in on the Section 105 chat room on our YouTube video stream. We've also got some quick, we'll maybe dabble a little into some of the playoffs that are going on right now. Knicks, and I don't know if anybody's really, at least in our listening area, kind of following too much with the NBA playoffs. But Knicks did jump out to a 2-0 lead after their win yesterday. Maybe a little bit of a surprise last night. Montreal taking down Carolina. Montreal scoring at 6 goals in game 1 of their series. So, not a whole lot in terms of the football world, but Matthew Stafford signed a 1-year extension. So that was probably to be expected. That's what we had heard after they had drafted Simpson in the first round too. But it's kind of, we've Packers fans have been down this path before when it's quarterback watch. It's probably a year-by-year basis now with Matthew Stafford in that. But NFL.com had each NFL team's next best Hall of Fame candidates. I would think that the NFC North, or for Green Bay, is pretty. Oh, okay. I like this. Whoever was this Eric that did this article? Yeah, Eric Edelman did this article. Good pull. Knowing the history of Green Bay, he said his pick was Jack Venisi. If you know your Packers history, bingo. I've been pounding that table for a long time. But he did say Aaron Rodgers will be a first-ballot candidate in 6 years, and now eligible Clay Matthews has support after a shorter career but a dominant 7-year stretch. I don't think Clay Matthews is going to make it, but anyways. However, there is a real Hall of Fame impetus for the brilliant, oft-forgotten Venisi, who arguably isn't even the most famous person in his family. Younger brother Jerry was the general manager for the Super Bowl winning Bears in 1985. but Jack's impact on the game with the rival Packers is unquestioned. Considered one of the modern forefathers of player scouting, Vanisi created from scratch an entire scouting blueprint and oversaw the acquisition of 8 Hall of Fame players, including Bart Starr, Forrest Gregg, Paul Hornung, Ray Nitschke, Jim Taylor, and others over an 11-year span. He was also instrumental in bringing Vince Lombardi to Green Bay, setting up the Packers' utter dominance of the 60s. Vanisi didn't get to enjoy the fruits of his labor, dying at the age of 33 of a heart attack. The grassroots Team Vanisi movement has swelled in recent years, making the overlooked genius a dark horse Hall of Fame candidate. Sign me up, co-sign that 100%, 150%. He deserves more attention and love than what he gets. And I think a lot of it is because, well, he passed away at such a young age at 33 and didn't get to enjoy the fruits of his labor. So, bingo, co-sign it. I think it's going to be a long path. He has been mentioned once in a while in contributors, but I'd throw in Lee Remmel as another name, and then of course Bob Harlan too. But I think those are going to be uphill battles for some of those former Packers. Aaron Rodgers, lock. Just what? Yeah, don't even have to debate that one. That'll be a lock whenever, if he does retire after this year. I think he will. I know there's some people that are still skeptical about that. I think he's done after this year. But who knows? We'll see. Maybe they advance a little bit further and such, and maybe he gets that itch to, all right, let's try one more time. But all right. Anyways, just a couple minutes left to the top of the hour. So if you want, you can send me your predictions for this series. Text them on over for the Brewers and Dodgers. And if you want to throw a little Cardinals one in there too, since we won't be here on Monday to preview that, you can do that. But you can send over your cream of the crops. You can send those out. Who's been the cream of the crop, or what has been the cream of the crop for you for the past week or so? Can do that. And it's a little TGIF open house party, too. You have a little fun with that. All right, let's wrap it up with Morgs. Good morning, Morgan.
Hey, Casper. Thank you for the nod to Boyceville in your sportscast this morning. That was nice. Girls are first ever conference champs for the softball team. Siggy's a part of that, so good group of girls out there. Appreciate the recognition. We didn't get to be in here Wednesday with you, though, so we have Wednesday wild card. So you're going to pick a number between 1 and 25, and whatever we ask you, you have to answer, all right?
Okay, 24.
24. What's a skill you're currently trying to learn from scratch?
From scratch?
Yeah, do you have any? Okay, it doesn't have to be from scratch. What's a skill you're currently trying to learn, or are you done learning?
Or maybe I've pondered learning.
Okay, we'll allow it.
Carving.
Like
carving.
wood?
Yeah.
What would you whittle?
I don't know.
Are you expecting prison time in your future?
That's a little deep or dark.
No. People pick up hobbies like that.
I want to do something like in the winter and that stuff. So, yeah,
okay, what do you want to carve? Like big time, like those bears with chainsaws?
No. Like I got some hand tools in that. So
what are you going to carve first?
Maybe some fishing lures or something. I don't know.
Okay, I like it.
Mini Bigfoot statues.
You're going to graduate?
Yeah.
It's going to be a long winter to get to a Bigfoot sketch.
Yeah.
How about 1 to 25?
Let's go 12.
Something you're passionate about that surprises people who know you.
I think a lot of people are surprised to know that I go hunting.
Okay.
A lot of people have told me that over the years. I don't know why.
That you don't seem like a hunter for some reason?
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know. Everybody's surprised when they find out I go hunting.
Okay.
I don't know why, but.
Interesting. What about 1 to 25?
We'll go 4.
4. Oh, okay. If you could tell your younger self one thing, what would it be?
How young?
Okay, let's sit you down. You're like 5, 6, not like an infant. Not like...
keep all of your Ninja Turtle toys.
Oh, man, you're still reflective on that.
Yeah,
you're missing out.
because I see some stuff on like Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
I had a Ninja Turtle skateboard. Okay, I never skateboarded, but I had one. Full size.
Did you try skateboarding?
No.
Oh, because I got some wicked road rash taking a skateboard down a
driveway.
Somebody
on Facebook is selling it for a few $100. I had the same exact one, and it was in better shape.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Did you reach out to him and tell them that?
No.
Say, hey, I had a better one.
I did have a better one.
What'd you do with it? Do you remember?
I have no idea where it went. Probably on a garage sale or something.
I had the girl version of that because I had all the Care Bears and all the My Little Ponies.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea where they are now, but back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, those things, they apparently are cool again. Okay, pick another. Speaking
Last
of,
one.
let's do this one. What is a tradition that you want to pass down? Do you have any traditions?
I'll go back to hunting. I'd like to pass down that tradition of Hudson.
Like deer camp?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of that stuff. So
that's not so shabby. Or hey, maybe wood carving once you get a handle on this thing.
Maybe I'll be a good whittler. All right. Thanks, Margs.
Anytime.
All right. We've got news up.